So, my article was titled Mantle of the Expert Integrating Dramatic Inquiry in Visual Arts and Social Studies. And basically, it is exactly like it's titled. It's just about ways to integrate dramatic inquiry into social studies teaching. So, when you think about drama and social studies, usually it's just very surface level. So, it's very much so students reenacting historical events and things like that nature, reenacting things that happened in the past. Sometimes, you may have those students reflect on those events, but that's usually as deep as it goes with drama and social studies. But drama can be a more inclusive role-playing activity in which students can participate in inquiry learning about social studies by engaging in real-life situations. So the dramatic inquiry approach was created by Professor Dorothy Heathcote at University of Newcastle. And basically the big idea of this is that the class does all of the curriculum work as if they are a imagined group of experts. So they could be scientists, they could be archaeologists, they could be run their own company, they could be almost anything, but they're the experts. And because they behave as if they are the experts, they work from a specific point of view as they explore their learning, and this brings special responsibilities, language needs, and social behaviors. So they use this so in this article that I read, these professors were using this technique to show their students who are going to be future teachers. So this was a middle school and elementary, teaching middle school and elementary social studies class where they had future teachers, and they wanted to use this approach to show other future teachers or to show their future teachers how to use this in their own classroom. So they did an experiment where they used it. So basically they had students do their own research about a topic, although when they were talking about it in your own classroom, you're going to have to go over how to research with your own students and walk them through that process. But because these were college students, they didn't really have to worry about that. But first they did their own research and over a certain topic. So they kind of talked about what they had. Their students' research was over plastic bottles and how to reduce waste. So then the next step was after they did their research, they shared the research with like a museum team, or basically it was other professors who they got to share their research with and who shared back with them. So they shared using a drama strategy called hot seating, and hot seating is basically a student or a teacher being a character and answering questions about the background, behavior, and motivation of the character they are. So they remain in character, they have cards that tell them what their character does, what they know. So it could be like a plastics expert, so a plastic bottle expert, and that, they're sharing their research, and this plastic bottle expert is sharing their expertise with them that they've been given, and they try to stay in character. And and so then after, this article, they continued to do these hot seating activities where they shared with experts, and it helped the process. So this activity really allows for teachers to role play a variety of real world roles in the classroom. I absolutely loved this article. I thought this drama inquiry is so incredible to use in the classroom. For one, role playing can be so engaging for students. When I think about social studies, I think a lot of people think about, oh, I'm going to get lectured, they're just going to talk to me about a topic, or we're going to read from a book, it's history, it's in the past, or we're just going to learn it from a book. And that doesn't have to be the case. This could be something that you are actively engaged in and get students really engaged, and I think that could be a lot more fun for students. It also gets students involved. So because you have to do your own research and work out and do these hot seat activities, every student has to be involved, and it doesn't allow students to slack off. It also can easily be done individually, where they do their own research and then move to groups, or it could be group led the entire time, each different group members in charge of a certain part of the information that they have together, and asking in the hot suite certain questions. So that's also really cool when working in groups and collaborative working is so big right now. That's a really cool activity that you could help implement that. Obviously, these professors in this article see the importance of this and are teaching future teachers how to do this. They're showing them what it looks like and then teaching them how to implement this into their classroom. So it's obviously something that's really important and beneficial. It also allows teachers to try out different historical and sociological roles with students, which is really cool. So one way that I think I could really use it in my classroom is that, say you want to teach supply and demand. I mean, you could talk to them about supply and demand. You could write it on the board, you could show them, or you could have them do a dramatic inquiry where maybe they're a business owner and they have to work with other business owners to figure out, supply and demand. And that kind of activity is going to stick with them so much better than just teaching them from a book or, making them do worksheets. It's much more fun and engaging for the students, and actually I think it would be really fun for the teacher because you get to see them learn through this activity. And I also love the hot seat activity because that's something that even if maybe you don't want to do a full-fledged drama inquiry where because that could be a long project with their research and going back and research and asking more questions, that could be a long process. But if you have a topic and you just want them to prepare questions and you have another teacher come in and they be the expert on it and they sit in the hot seat, that could be really interesting for students as well so that they don't get bored in things that you're doing. So overall, I think this article was really interesting, and dramatic inquiry is something that I definitely want to use in my classroom one day.